line, man.
I'm gonna go with a little
Flat line.
I'm going with you.
If you guys finish early, grab out a colored pen and your practice test. We're going to be grading. Not for a grade, but for you guys to know what's right or wrong for tomorrow. Yeah. You turn to the back, and on the blank part, you write all the answers down.
Okay, thank
Or you take a picture with your phone.
Okay. Oh, I have one. I did a lot of it yesterday, though. I have too much stuff. A song. Memorize a set chart. I got the card and I stopped reading and I cried on my table and I'm this morning and it's so long. I don't know.
Maybe I should. No, it's extreme.
No,
That's what happens when it goes off. The microphone stops working.
yeah.
All right. Who do we have? Graph of who? Focus. Flex. Especially people just came in. Okay, so who do we have? The graph of? F prime. How do I think about all these things?
Well, I don't know any of them except for D.
Okay, well, increasing, decreasing, right? That's kind of most of it. So increasing, decreasing. Do we have any critical numbers where F prime is 0 or DNE?
Yeah.
Where? At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. What do I ask myself to fill in the sign of F prime? Okay, so what sign did you say before? Because it's below, and then? Because it's above. Okay. So.
It's good enough for me.
Local min.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, man. I did something.
The other ones were banking on you reading him wrong.
I did read it wrong.
What's that flat line mean?
Yeah, I was looking at that makes me sad.
Flat line means that F prime is a negative number, which means that the graph is like chillin', decreasing at a constant rate, at a constant slope, but a negative slope. At a constant negative slope. And then all of a sudden F prime starts increasing, so it's like, and that's a problem. But either way, it was still below, right? Did that change what I did in my sign chart? No big deal. And anyway, the whole constant from 0 to 3, what about him? And he's not F anyway, you're not supposed to be looking. Okay, cool kids, I want you to go ahead and grab out your practice test, and either you're writing on the back page because you haven't done it yet, or you're grading it with a colored pen, or you're taking a picture to grade it later. Why am I doing this? I want to see if you have any questions, but how do you know if you have any questions if you haven't figured out whether you're right or wrong yet?
Which one?
Yeah. Because those are the ones that are crossed out on the practice test. Number 22, I guess I didn't actually write an answer. I think it's that roles doesn't apply. Did I get that? Is anyone looking at 22?
Which one?
22. I think it's roles doesn't apply.
Roles doesn't
FFA
apply.
doesn't, right? Is it
FFA
FFA
doesn't
doesn't
equal
equal FFB? Roles does not apply. F of A does not equal F of B. The function was continuous, was differentiable, but F of A did not equal F of B. F of A did not equal F of B. 23 was a sharp point, which means, I guess I didn't finish that thought either, F prime does not exist. Okay, those of you who took pictures, delete them and then take one more picture. I want you to have all the answers, including those ones. Today's Thursday, which means, what's due?
Thursday. Nothing.
What's due?
Oh, the extra credit.
The extra credit designing thing, if you don't have it, like print it out, you can email it to me. I didn't read yours, but I saw it come in. I saw it.
Haley send you yours?
I think so. I
One of them was like, I just want extra credit, so I didn't do the front. But one of them has the front and the back.
Okay, we're so proud of
Oh,
you.
I just thought that was really cool.
Okay, remember, by midnight tonight, otherwise deal's off, but by midnight tonight, if you have a design, you can email me, or if you have it printed out, you can give it to me right now. Okay, that was fun. Alright, we have the answers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Numbers.
Okay, couple more seconds. Remember the crossed out ones are ones that you don't need to know for tomorrow. Horizontal asymptote is limit to infinity. I mean, it's good and all, but I'm not going to just ask you that question. Maybe I should, but no, you should. Next.
And then,
Oh.
What did I apply for 22?
22, yeah. 22 is the top one, and then the other one is right down below. Alright, how do we have them now? Kind of? Alright, here's what I want us to do. I'm going to come back in 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to be back there finishing your quizzes because I just have to score them and record them real quick, but I'm really close. I'm going to come back in 10 to 15 minutes. What do you think I want you doing in those 10 to 15?
all of it.
Either working on practice tests, asking questions in groups, or going to someone that you trust to be like, hey, help me out with this one because I'm pretty sure you got it right.
What if I don't?
One of those people might be in the back just chilling right now. What else could you be working on? Hold on. Logistics.
My self-improvement.
Oh, that's
Logistics.
either you or either homework.
Okay. Tomorrow is, I don't know, someone was having fun tomorrow, probably John. Eyes on me real quick. Eyes on me. Okay. Tomorrow is a test day. Let's get all on the same page. What time can you start your test? 7:45. And if you don't start then, you lose extra time, right? Okay. 7:45, you can start your test. What do you need to have here? Pencil, paper,
Gummy bear.
coffee. Yeah, coffee. I might have some in here for you.
Calculator.
Calculator?
No, not
I don't think so. That's good. Notes. I don't think so.
Gummy bear.
Notes. What else are you turning in? Homework spiral. Okay. Notes by class. Homework spiral and practice test by the end of the day. So if you need a little extra time, you have a little extra time. Notes in class, homework spiral, practice test by the end of the day. Practice test is going to get turned into your tray in the back. Okay? Practice test is going to get turned into a tray in the back, spirals on the front table. Notes, you're going to go ahead and put in, like, there are empty seats close to all of your groups. It might be like in another group or something, but you're going to go ahead and pile your group's notebooks all together before the test, okay? Let's quickly go ahead and locate those seats, although we have tons of people gone today. Group 1. Perfect. Jason's going to go ahead and move over, so then group 1 and 2 share that front desk right next to Violet for your notes. Over here, Angela, that one in front of you is empty, right? Groups 3 and 4, you're going to put both of your stacks of notes on that empty desk right next to Ella and right next to Trevor. In the back, we have an empty desk in front of Laura. So groups 5 and 6, you're going to share that one and put all your notes there, and then we have an empty desk, Alan, in front of you, right? Perfect. You two groups are going to share put your notes. That way we're all on the same page. No one's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Your spiral needs to have chapter 3A homework, 3.1 to 3.5, and a review. There's a shorter review than we've had before because you have the practice test as well. So practice test needs to be turned in to the back straight, spiral to the front with the review. You guys have 12 minutes starting now to work. If you need a book, the FRQ, we're actually going to do that together. It's not. but the answer keys are actually in the notes and it could be a great way to study. So. Alright, ready, set? If you want to move to work with someone, you may. If you want to just work in your groups, that's totally fine. You can be working on your practice test, working on your review, or checking anything you got wrong and asking questions. Right now, though, I need to go back to my desk and finish those quizzes. You guys can have them to study. Okay. If you guys need a book, I think I have one or two extra, maybe?
Don't have any more.
Oh, have they been used?
Yeah. I don't think.
Okay, so you guys have been working for quite a while. I'm just updating for those people who are watching because they were gone today. They were working on their practice tests, their test review, etc., going over questions with people, mostly just working though, trying to get things done. I just handed out their quizzes so that they can study from them, and here we are in the FRQ classwork. Now guys, check it out. In Chapter 3A notes, what do I have on the next, why isn't it moving? What do I have on the next page? Guess what this is? All the answers. Okay? And then, didn't you have another FRQ? Didn't you look like this, the one on the back? Is that right? Guess what else I have? The answers. Okay? So these are study tips. These are study guides. The question, what are in both of these FRQs? What's the first one have? A graph of who? Can you read it? Read it here. F prime. Hey, it's another chance to practice. The F prime stuff, that's really tricky. But you guys did pretty good on the multiple choice this morning. Pretty good. Some of you are like, I still need to figure it out. But you have one more good, great, amazing practice problem of a graph of F prime and questions like, is there a relative min? If so, where? And why? And the answers on the next page go through the why, specifically through the why. Same thing with the relative max, same thing for when the second derivative is negative, F is conquered down. Same thing for, okay, absolute max, kiddos, real quick. Can you cross out letter D? Don't look at letter D, don't think about letter D. You need to know how to do integrals with letter D, so just don't worry, okay? Don't worry about that. We are not going to be having to find absolute extrema from first derivatives, but how do we find absolute extrema from an original function? That's section 3.1. That's the trickiness of number 2 on the practice test, right? Hold on, going back. What's tricky about number 2? Anybody get stuck on that one? Wasn't he kind of hard? Long division, first of all, and we ended up getting what polynomial after we did long, or we could have done synthetic division. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, and we knew that x couldn't equal -4, right? Okay, but still, hold on. We don't want to deal with him anymore because he's ugly. Blah, we made him nicer. That's F. Remind me, how do you test for absolute extrema? Wait. Our forever card is kind of important, you know?
Yes.
You can't do MVT if you don't know who he is, what his ifs or then is. You can't do rolls if you don't know what his ifs or then is. You're not going to remember to do possibly critical numbers, pitchfork, if you don't know you have to use the zeros, DNEs of the first derivative to make the sign chart, to figure out increasing, decreasing, to figure out extrema. Okay, as a result, I'm giving you a quick clue. Tomorrow, on the test, the bonus will be stating a forever. Now, it's up to you. You don't have to spend a lot of time on the forevers if you choose not to. But I'm just saying, the only place where you're going to have to regurgitate, you're going to have to actually tell me a forever is in a bonus. The bonus is going to be a forever from chapter 3A. It's going to be one of them. You're just going to have to state it. Cool? Why am I doing that? Because you have to know your forevers for tomorrow. Okay? Okay. Coming back. One of your forevers is how to find the steps to find absolute extrema. What do we plug into a table? Critical numbers and, careful, and the endpoints. So we have -1, we have -4, and we have, wait a minute, how do we find critical numbers again? First derivative, I did it fast yesterday. Some of you guys might not have known why. It said first derivative equal to 0. Why I put a -2 in. We could also do a sign chart with -4. Uh-oh, let's cut it out. -1. Put in -2. We end up with negative positive, which means decreasing, increasing. If you don't label, you're probably going to forget at some point what you're plugging into. But looking at this, we know the absolute min. And if we were to plug into our original function, we know that, I think this one's, nope. This one is -1. This one's -1, this one is 0. This one is 3. Now, which one do you think people accidentally choose all the time for this one? If they get the first step right of doing long division. I plug back into the original, remember, you have to look at the label F, I'm plugging in there. Who's the lowest, guys? Okay, this one's the absolute min. Who's the highest? Oh. What do you think the wrong answer is that people choose as long as they kind of have an understanding of what to do? B. It's not right. The answer key says A. Why? What's going on at -4? There's a hole. There's a hole and he's not allowed. It's one of these graphs. Absolute min, endpoint, he's neither, he's nobody, he's not a relative because he's not for an area around it, and he's not the highest, so he's not an absolute max. Where is the absolute max? There, but he's gone. What's the correct answer? A. Absolute extrema. You're only going to have to worry about given and F. So anyway, I wanted to show you in that FRQ really quickly to skip D. If you are studying from it, don't do D, don't worry about D. But the rest of it is great practice. The answers are over here. Guys, this is just how they score FRQs. We will be working on AP stuff, having you guys understand what you're supposed to do and how they grade it, but that's not for tomorrow. What's this one? What are you given? A graph, not a graph, a function of the derivative. You're given h prime. You're given h prime. So once again, a great practice problem. However, for tomorrow, technically, don't worry about CD. If you want to cross that out for tomorrow, technically, don't worry about C or D. You can do C or D. You know definitely how to do C. D is a little tricky. It's an AP-ish type thing that we haven't talked about a lot. But A and B would have been, I would star A and B. Those are good ones to study for tomorrow. Okay, so where do you find the answers to these FRQs if you want to practice with them? In our notes. No big deal. Right underneath the sample problems we did today. All right, I know we don't have a lot of time, but question. Is there anything else in particular? Let's just stay with the practice test because why? Why haven't I spent a lot of time opening up the book, looking at the review?
Because they're all
Now, is CalcChat, do they do things just like me? No, but you can check the answers and see a little bit of the work, right? Before I go back to the practice test, we still have a couple minutes. And I just really try to encourage you. A lot of you guys, those quiz grades were good. Maybe not perfect, but they were pretty good for you, right? Okay, let's get what for tomorrow? What are we getting for tomorrow?
good test.
We're getting a good test, right? We're getting a good one. Okay, what do you have to be careful of? Silly math mistakes. Messing up on those derivatives. And then having the ideas straight, right? Watch out for the silly math mistakes, watch out for the derivatives, and make sure you have the ideas straight. True? Okay. I'm going to write on the backboard tomorrow. Remember there's the whole, like, your related rates test. Ugh, we need to do a little bit of work on that. Why didn't I distract you with that this week? We're getting a good test for tomorrow, right? But what do I want you to do over the next week? Get corrections. It's going to be due the Monday we get back by the end of the day. The Monday we get back by the end of the day. Figure out a pal, get their number, something over break so that you can meet up or you can talk or whatever and do corrections together. It's not a bad idea. Let's do the Monday we get back, and there's going to be a quiz the Monday we get back, an extra credit quiz, points going towards that test. Everyone's taking it just so I don't have to worry about, like, you do this problem, you do that problem, you, do them all. Like, we're just going to give it to everybody. And then, depending on what you missed, you can get some points back, okay? But I'm not going to really talk about that tomorrow. It's just going to be on the backboard. Make sure to check it out. I think we're done, sadly. So who's here to help if I can? Who else is here to help if they can? Me. Talk to each other. Or just go kidnap a BC kid and be like, hey, I'll buy you coffee. Let's go work. Or a fellow AD kid. Come on, guys. You got this. We're getting a good one tomorrow.
Did you do
Hey guys. Miss, do you guys have my base in here?
Yeah.
And that's to announce it. I'm sorry.
Tomorrow after Alright, and also if we do tutoring on Textbook, we can take a picture and do it.
Take a selfie, and then there's a form online under website announcements. I think it says tutoring forms where your welcome page was.
Okay.
You just print out and say like who you tutored, when you tutored, a couple things you tutored in,
Alright.
and then you show me both and I sign it.
Okay.
Is that cool?